Hey, just a short Christmas Eve podcast, ChucksShow. Anyway, we're going to talk about cornea abrasions, cornea ulcers, and MucusFishingSyndrome today. Andee Suzanne, the co-host, had a issue where she had gotten a cornea scratch on her left eye back in April. That later got infected and turned into a cornea ulcer. We've been going to Will's Eye since April to get this resolved down here in Philly, taking her down there. I'm currently doing this short podcast at a big box store parking lot real quick. Anyway, long of the short, as of a month ago, she was slated for a cornea transplant possibility for the left eye because it's all scarred over, as they say, which means all the bacteria has gone away and now it's just scarred over. She can't see out of her left eye except around the peripheral edge of it. It's kind of cleared up, but the center's all white gobbed. She got a scratch on her right eye with an extension cord and popped out of a wall or something. It was the receptacle, and thank God she closed her eye, but it did scratch her right eye cornea. So that's currently, as of this point, does not have any infection at the moment. We've been going to Will's Eye for that one also. They did 5 scrapes. They found out she might have had a slight bacterial infection above her eyelid, which then produces, like, mucus in that, trying to fight it. Basically, there's a mucus fishing syndrome. That basically is called MFS. Basically, what happens is you'll have the urge to pull the mucus out of your eye, and what it does is on the overnights, the mucus wraps around your normal eye crust, eye sand, and makes it like a string, like fishing line, hence the term fishing. And it pulls tight like clear fishing line. So your body's natural reaction, according to the surgeon down there, is to get it out. Because before we had our eyelashes 100 billion years ago with the cavemen, we used to just reach in our eye and pull stuff out. The problem is, the more you do that, the more you inflame your eye and your eyelid, and you end up losing your eyelashes, and it's just terrible. So she's been dealing with this for about a month or so. Again, we went to 8 visits already for this. In the last month and a half, I've been taking her down there. So we're trying to resolve that. We just did some more reading up on the mucus fishing syndrome, and apparently it's a cycle, because the more you play with it, the more mucus is produced, which will then produce more of that wraparound string effect, which gets tight and actually will hurt your eye and possibly scratch your eye, because it gets to be like a hard mucus because the crusties kind of form into it. I guess if you get what I'm saying here, it's like a twist. Picture like an atom wrapped around with like a, like you see on CSI where they do one of these things, that type of thing. So she's been dealing with that. It's very painful because your optical nerve is right here next to your brain. There's a bunch of sensors, and to top it all off, she had gotten a sinus infection. So basically her sinuses are pushing on her eye, causing that to have a problem. And all they recommend at Will's Eye is over-the-counter meds for the sinus part of it, or in this case, we managed to get her meds from her doctor to help that. They prescribed another antibiotic to help, fight whatever infection might be in her eye to reduce that. But it's a real thing. So all I could say is, if you're doing anything around the house, she normally wears glasses, but she wasn't the day she got her second scratch because she was in the kitchen, just doing something. And that's when the cord hit her. And like I said, the first one was caused by an imploding light bulb that just happened to drop and blow upwards and scratched her left eye. So, little well wishes for the co-host to be great. And I just wanted to enlighten people about these different things, because we went to Will's 18 times for her left eye, and so far 9 times will be this coming week. We'll be there. They're going a 9th time for her right eye. And no knock on them, but it's a learning hospital, so every time you go there, you get somebody that's experienced, or you get somebody that's learning. Even though they're doctors, they still have to bounce off each other, and they don't always agree. So one week one guy will say do this, one girl will say do this, and it's an ongoing battle. So just a little well wishes for Miss Andee Suzanne, the co-host of the show. As soon as she gets squared away, hopefully she'll be back. But, like I said, all they can do at Will's is not give you pain meds, because they don't. So they recommend, taking, bringing Motrin or Tylenol, and that only helps so far. And, they prescribed her the wetting drops that get PF drops. They gave her moxifloxacin or ciprofloxacin or both. They have a bacitracin type ointment that actually seems to be helping her right now. And with the MucusFishingSyndrome, she's basically learning, because I read it to her yesterday, the less you play with it, the less mucus produced. Your body will stop getting in that cycle. So hopefully she'll get through this. But please be careful with your eyes. You only get 2 of them. And even without one, it sucks for all those people that are vision impaired. From my experience since April with her, it's a real thing. You really don't have that problem. MucusFishingSyndrome. A lot of doctors don't know about it. It till the last visit when he noticed, quote, crustaceans under her eye thing. That's what's causing the scratching, which is causing the irritability of her eye. They try to put a temporary contact in to protect the scratch to help it heal faster. But because she has asthma and a bunch of other, like little immune things, she really can't. Like the contact lens last week they put in lasted 3 hours because the mucus got under it with that string, and she was doing something and literally popped the contact right off. So that was gone. That's the second contact they put in that eye, the right eye, the more recent one that caused that issue, and that's how that went. So anyway, little knowledge on ophthalmology today from ChucksShow. So anyway, stay tuned. The next couple podcasts, I'll try to make them more upbeat. I'll be back in the studio. I'm going to do some from the car here and there when I'm, doing my normal day job. I'll come out here and do one, even if it's just audio, and I'll shoot it up on, Spotify, YouTube, wherever they end up. Because, we're on all platforms at this point. So if you go to ChucksShow.com, all one word, ChucksShow.com, it has links at the bottom to all the different sites you can go to: Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. Anyway, ChucksShow, mind's blown. You all have a good day. Have a good Christmas. Take care. From me and Miss Andee Suzanne, thank you.